The Daily Wire, they got to be the ultimate trolls for this one. The Daily Wire has decided to relaunch Candace Owens' podcast that was a part of the Daily Wire, but without Candace Owens, using her name, using her image, and they're launching it as a troll podcast. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. Candace Owens just came back from holiday break. She talked about it, and you guys have got to see this. I'm going to show you the channel and everything. Like, when you think they can't get any lower, this is a doozy.
About an hour before we went live, a bunch of people were messaging me saying that the Daily Wire had brought back my old YouTube channel. They had seemingly deleted it. Apparently, they just privatized it. And they brought it back, and as you could see, they premiered an old trailer from when I was joining the Daily Wire, and this wasn't a mistake. This was not a mistake because they put a card in the front that said this was shot in 2021. So what are they doing? They also did the same thing on Instagram. My old Instagram channel, they re-released my trailer from when I was first joining them. So clearly they're trying to get attention for something. And I can tell you what that something is. I love scooping people when they're just being weird. First, I should say, I did have a little bit of sympathy over this break. I would like to apologize to the midget horse. The midget horse never deserved the FU. There's nothing wrong with being a midget horse.
So do you guys remember when Candace said that Ben, F you with that midget horse that you have? You guys remember that? Yeah, I think that really got to Ben. A lot of us were making fun of that. There was pictures, there's images all over social media about Ben Shapiro on a little midget horse, and it was really funny. But I think Ben probably didn't like that too much. and that kind of makes me wonder if that's why they're doing this trolling effort. Let's go on a little bit more here.
And I was a little fired up, and I attacked a small horse that probably did nothing wrong, if I'm being honest. Now, more broadly speaking, the reason I had sort of snapped at the end of last year is that it has been a very long road, as I showed you an example of me just trying to be fired like a normal person. Just so you guys know, in a normal world, your employer, if they fire you, that should be the last you hear of them. You should not then have them follow you to events, calling people to try to get you canceled from speaking events, putting pressure on people, lawsuits. That's actually toxic. And when I said to people that it was getting to a point where I felt like I was being stalked by them, I said this like privately. I said,
so I didn't know about that until I saw this recently. It seems like even after she was removed from the Daily Wire, they were basically trying to make it so that she could not continue on anywhere. That's what it sounds like. Instead of just saying, okay, you're fired, good luck in the future, and just parting ways and going about business as usual, it sounds like they were still trying to actively go about their way to make sure that she really would not continue on anywhere else. That is some sneaky, conniving crap. Because typically if someone's fired or whatever, like, you part ways, you do it business as usual and you keep it going. But if they're willing to go to that extent to try to prevent her from continuing to either have a show or speaking events, that is just, it's thought behavior. Like it really is. It's thought behavior that's raunchy, that's nasty. And it's almost like, if we can't have you, then no one else can. If you're not going to be with us, then you're not going to be anywhere. Comes across as very controlling, in my opinion.
But I genuinely feel like when you break up with someone and you have a crazy ex, that was how it felt like being fired from the Daily Wire. Except in this circumstance, the ex broke up with you, but then I guess like maybe changed their mind or just didn't want to see you move on and be happy or successful. There was an element of this that felt, and I truly am not trying to be dramatic here, it felt like a crazy ex-stalker. Like, if I can't have you, nobody can have you, And so to connect this point, to build this corollary for you guys, that was how I felt. That was what I was expressing to you at the end of last year.
It's also censorship. And we have to add this part, guys. That's the other element to this, not just like the crazy stalker move, but it's censorship. Essentially, they're trying to silence her or anyone else who would have been in that situation. You talked badly to a rabbi. You criticized Israel. You brought Norm Finkelstein on your show. So you got to go. Oh, and we're going to make sure, by the way, that nobody else will pick you up anywhere else. That is really conniving, but it's also censorship. That's essentially what this is. We're going to make it so that you can't speak anywhere else. We're going to try our best to stop you no matter where you go. We're going to silence you. Now, what happened to Mr. Ben Shapiro? Facts don't care about your feelings. Because when you listen to it this way, it sounds like this is definitely an emotional response coming from the Daily Wire, that we're just going to silence you wherever you go. You guys see why I'm against that? I'm against the censorship. I'm against the silencing.
That I was done with it, right? I was like, I'm leaving Daily Wire in 2025, come hell or high water. Well, they want hell or high water because it turns out the reason they're doing this and doing it on my channel is because they are trying to hard launch a young woman named Madison Bransford. Okay. Now she's apparently an intern at the Daily Wire, and they're basically dropping like an iCarly type Nickelodeon feel show where
another creation. So we'll come back to this, but I just want to go back to this picture here. So essentially they have it's a creation. This is a character that they created, and this is someone that they hired to do it. The woman in this picture. And it just makes you wonder how real any of these people are. Like I said before, I think that like Matt Walsh with his constant like culture war, like BS, he's always either going after LGBTQ or he's going after, black this or, commie this. He's always going after a different like identity. That's his role. That's his character. So essentially the Daily Wire has actors portraying political commentators, maybe a little bit of video essay in there as well. But these people are characters.
An iCarly type Nickelodeon feel show where she's going to make fun of me. And the show is entitled In the No-No because apparently they watch every second of my show, which they've been doing for a very long time. They used to send clips and have people make fun of me when I was first getting started. And so now, because they still can't let me go, and since Ben is now on stage bringing me up and saying, we don't know, but we know, like it's giving crazy ex-stalker. They're now launching a show with this girl. I'm sure she's a lovely human being. It's basically like they tried to find someone that's similar to Brett, but it's not at all because it's not mature. And she's just going to make fun of this show. So that's what the Daily Wire has in store. I'm sorry to have scooped you on this new brilliant idea.
So they hired this girl to portray a character to make fun of Candace Owens' show. Do you guys see how people do you? And I wonder sometimes, does Candace ever look back on this and wonder the number of times that she came in to, defend them, to defend Ben, defend Matt Walsh and all of them that were part of Daily Wire, back in the day when they were still cool with her. And do you see how they respond? So now they want to watch a show where this girl just trolls the Candace Owens show. And these were her friends. This is why I say, like, look, you be careful about trusting people in this space. But they were her friends. She was friends with Ben Shapiro. She was friends with Matt Walsh and all of them at one point. And how serious is the Daily Wire to create a show to just make fun of a show that is, led by one of their former commentators?
You hard launch something on my socials of somebody making fun of me. I'm sure you thought that was going to get some like huge applaud. It's weird. It makes me uncomfortable. If I'm being frank, I'd like you guys to move on. I understand now. It's never, you're never going to stop. This is just what we are. You're forever going to obsess about everything that I'm doing. I think it's a bad idea. I would kill it if I were you guys, but I see that you've already made a significant investment. And I hope it works out. I hope a person dedicated to making fun of me in the note, I hope it works out for young Maddie. Anyways, we now need to.
Yeah, that is wild. That is crazy. And I think she's being especially kind there, because I would just basically say, you guys are absolutely immature to even go down that road. Like, how old are they supposed to be? How old is Ben Shapiro at this point in time? You can't be mature and just move on and handle things the way it used to be. So they did relaunch. I want to show you guys this here. So this is a recent tweet. It was posted January 6, 2026. Even community notes had to come in and say this account is from before the termination of Candace Owens. Daily Wire is attempting to do an impersonation account. So they relaunched it again. Like I said, that's not her. She's real. She's honest. She's uncancelable. Previously aired March 9th, 2021. So look at this, guys. They are trolling hard.
Are we good, guys? Are we rolling? In this age of propaganda, and the media has done a really good job of creating a caricature of Candace Owens. What's going to be different about Candace at the Daily Wire? The timing right now is really crucial to stand up on a platform and to say, I'm here, I'm a conservative, I'm not apologizing. I'm really committed to changing things. I have the courage to stand by my convictions and genuinely believe in the importance of.
They literally are trolling very hard. They're like, let's release this new video again and pretend like it's new, but it's not. The video is from 2021 and they're acting like, oh boy.
Challenging ideas and the importance of debate. And that's why I'm really excited to join the Daily Wire team. This show is going to be uplifting, funny, political. This show is going to be all of the pieces of me.
So yeah, and they put that out there, and people saw this on X and they said, wait a minute. Obviously, it's confusing to people who may not have been aware. And they're like, so does that mean that the Daily Wire is bringing Candace back? No, but they're trolling and they're trying to mislead people. And if you look at the channel, I'm going to show you that it's back, right? So this was the channel, Candace Owens Podcast, right? At the time, it had 2.96 million subscribers. She has more subscribers on her own channel now compared to this one. But if you notice, all the videos are gone except for this one, which I just showed you, which was uploaded 1 day ago, and it has 20,000 views. So if I go to the homepage, that video's on the homepage. If I click on shorts, it's a short, obviously, from that video, 31,000 views. If I go to videos, it's this video. And let me see if there's any comments. So let's just pause it here for just a second. Let's come down here. Look at this. Can you say stalker BS? She doesn't work for you anymore. I guess they desperately need the viewership. This is pathetic, childish, and so BS. And another thing that I was going to bring up, and I don't know, how you guys feel about this, but I have this question. Is there any type of rule here over someone using your name and your likeness? And I guess that would have something to do with the contract that maybe she had with the Daily Wire. If there was a contract, maybe they owned the rights to the name of that podcast. I don't know. This is the thing about when you start, you get into bed with these people, like you never know, like especially when you're younger too, when people say, yeah, I want to bring you in as this, but we own the rights to your image, your name, or the name of this podcast. So if they own the rights to that, there probably isn't anything that she could do. But I think this is a warning to people out there that we all need to have control over our name, right? Like our name, our image, our likeness. And I've seen multiple stories about musicians that have gone through this as well. Like New Kids on the Block talked about this, how they didn't have any ownership or any rights over how their name was used. So like when they made lunch boxes with their faces on it and t-shirts and all that stuff, that was all in the contract. And they couldn't say, I don't want that made, because they didn't own the name, the rights to the name. So I think these things are important. And I think it's something that people need to think about, especially anybody interested in getting into like political YouTube or any type of podcast YouTube or whatever. You know, when you go to work with someone else, and if there's something to be signed, do you own the right to your name, or is that a no-no? You know, like that's something to think about, because I think it's ridiculous what they're doing. In fact, people are calling them out. Stephanie Jenkins said, I am done with the Daily Wire, unsubscribed on all platforms. Piggybacking on Candace ratings is an all new low. Get over her, move on, stalker. So there you go. There you go. But to me, not only that, but I feel like it's misleading. It's misleading. It makes people think, and people are asking, are they hurting for views? I mean, if we look at Ben Shapiro's channel, this is a big one. If you've been watching this on Social Blade, Ben Shapiro's YouTube channel has continued to bleed subscribers into 2026, losing roughly 40,000 subscribers over the past month, an average decline of about 1,300 a day. Here's a screenshot here, and this looks like this from Social Blade. Again, yeah, and this is what I was telling people. It just continues. 10,000 leave, 10,000 leave. When you get to be in the millions, you're only going to see this in increments of 10,000. So that's the way it shows there. But people are unsubscribing by the thousands in Ben Shapiro's, channel. And the Daily Wire, it looks like to me they are hurting, right? So it's like now it seems like they're trying to use Candace Owens' image in a misleading way, first of all, to make people think that she's coming back there and she's not. And then apparently going to use that as a troll, for someone to troll her show. It's just really, it's sad. It's sad. And I knew Ben Shapiro was an asshole, but this is a whole new level to me. This is like really like up there. And it really makes you wonder. And I said this, I'm more reluctant myself to defend people. I really got to know you more nowadays. But I wonder if Candace could go back, if she would have done things a little bit differently, if she knew that this is how it was going to turn out, that they were just going to be ridiculous. So they're literally just playing in her face right now, literally playing in her face. And with all the AI videos that are appearing on YouTube, and there's a lot of them that I've seen, they could create an AI Candace and then just go off with it. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's all over the place. And I honestly think it's immature. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.